Greetings and welcome to another Pokemon 2019 or Pokemon Journeys the series anime video. Now this video is going to be a little different than the videos I normally upload because it won't be an episode review or an episode preview discussion or a speculation theory video. Instead, this video will be a general discussion and reflection on a certain character. That's right, in this video I want to talk about Go and the effect he is having on the Pokemon Journeys anime. Now, if you have seen some of my previous videos, then you probably know that I don't have the best opinion of Go, so this video will also be different than the norm because it will be a bit more negative than usual instead of being a mostly positive video, which is the kind I almost always make and the kind I prefer to make. However, as of episode 53, Go has gone too far and I feel that I have to make a video going over why Go is potentially ruining this series and discussing how this could have been prevented before it got to this point. I actually had the idea to make this video a long time ago. I had this idea back when Go caught Flygon and Aerodactyl. These two captures added fuel to the fire of anger and disappointment that was already raging within me. A fire that was ignited when Go caught Sobble. I did not make this video back then because I waited for episode 40 to air, the episode where Go tried to catch Zapdos. I said to myself at the time, if Go catches Zapdos, then I absolutely have to make a video discussing why I dislike Go and what he does. However, I also said to myself, if Ash catches Zapdos, then I definitely won't make a video on Go. And if no one catches Zapdos, then I will put this video idea on the back burner for now and I will wait and see what else Go catches. In the end, of course, no one caught Zapdos, so I did not make this video back then, and instead I waited to see what else happens with Go. Now, the horrible outcome that I feared would come to pass in episode 40 did not happen, but episode 53 realized the nightmare. The calamity that I feared has dawned upon us, prompting me to make this video once and for all. So, let's take a look at what exactly makes Go such a bad thing for this series. Now, to begin with, who is Go? Like, what kind of character is he? What role does he fulfill in Pokemon Journeys? Go is what is known as a traveling companion or friend of Ash. In every series prior to Pokemon Journeys, Ash always had at least two characters that traveled with him. Characters that were for the most part from the Pokemon games. These characters were all main characters, which means that they appeared in every episode of the series where they traveled with Ash. Meaning that these characters were always there with Ash and they all had their own goals, struggles, and they helped and supported Ash in one way or another. They also all caught Pokemon, but usually only a couple, and always as much or less than what Ash would catch in that series. Now, most if not all of these characters were and still are well liked and remembered by fans, myself included. So if Go is the same type of character as them, then why is Go bad while these other characters are good or great even? Well, it's because Go is not technically the same type of character as them. Every previous traveling companion was classified as a main character, while Go is instead classified as a protagonist, a classification that was only used previously for Ash himself. So technically, Go is on equal footing with Ash when it comes to his role in Pokemon Journeys. A protagonist is the center of the story. They make most of the crucial decisions and they suffer the aftermath of those decisions. They also propel the story forward and the story centers mostly on them. They are the character whose fate is followed most closely by the viewer or reader. So, the protagonist is the most important character in a story and Go is classified as one as opposed to just being a main character. This means that Go is meant to have more screen time, importance, and development than previous traveling companions. So because of this, Go is in the spotlight a lot. Certainly more than previous traveling companions, and this is made worse by the fact that Pokemon Journeys is the only series where Ash only has one traveling companion. Like I mentioned before, in previous series, he always had at least two traveling companions. Since it's only Ash and Go in Pokemon Journeys, there are less characters to give screen time to, meaning that there is more screen time to give to each individual character, which further adds to Go's prevalence. Now, Pokemon Journeys does have Chloe, but even after catching Eevee, she still does not appear in every episode of Pokemon Journeys, though she has been appearing in more episodes recently. This overwhelming amount of focus is the first of many reasons why Go is bad. The Pokemon anime already had a protagonist prior to Go's introduction, and that protagonist is of course Ash. So there is no reason why Go has to be a protagonist as well. There just can't be two protagonists together because they can't both lead the story at the same time. They can't both be equally as important at the same time. One will inevitably steal the spotlight from the other, which is precisely what's happening in Pokemon Journeys. Now, I did do some research on protagonists. More specifically, I wanted to know if two protagonists can work, and what I found is that this is tricky to say the least. There are a few ways that this can work. One such way is if there is more than one story, just like there is more than one protagonist. Meaning that there is a storyline for each protagonist where they can lead the narrative and they can have the spotlight all to themselves. Pokemon Journeys actually showed how this does work in the Darkest Day arc. Ash and Go are separated early in the arc, and each one goes on their own quest alongside one of the important characters from the games. They both get to be a proper protagonist in their own storyline. However, this arc only lasts for 4 episodes. The rest of Pokemon Journeys tries to work with two protagonists with mixed results. For the most part, each episode is either an Ash episode or a Go episode or a Chloe episode or a random episode where nothing is really accomplished, meaning an episode where nothing important happens. An episode where neither Ash nor Go feel like the protagonist. There are a few exceptions like episodes 36 and 37 where you can say that Ash and Go are both equally important, but for the most part, each episode, excluding the ones in the Darkest Day arc, fall under one of the 4 categories I discussed previously. Now, this is not really unusual for the Pokemon anime. Previous series also had episodes dedicated to Ash, episodes dedicated to one of Ash's friends, and episodes where no one was the focus, and this was all fine, so why is this structure bad now in Pokemon Journeys? Well, because there have been far too many Go episodes, including one where Ash is completely absent, something that has never happened in the main anime before. So, for a character that is not Ash, Go has received way too much screen time and attention to the point that Ash has been sidelined a lot. There have been episodes where Ash feels like an afterthought. He feels like an extra in his own anime. And this is just wrong considering that Ash has been the protagonist for 23 years. Ash should still be the protagonist while Go should just be a main character, meaning he should not be as important or as prominent as Ash. Now, another way that two protagonists can work is if they share the same or a similar goal, which means that they can both work towards the same objective together. But Pokemon Journeys fails here yet again because Ash and Go have different goals. Ash wants to battle his way up the ranks of the Pokemon World Carnation series so that he can battle Leon, and Go wants to catch every single Pokemon to work his way up to eventually catching Mew. So Ash and Go cannot pursue their goals together because they are different goals. Each of them needs episodes dedicated to their specific dream, which inevitably means that there are episodes where one of them will play a supporting role, and there have certainly been a lot of episodes that focus on Go catching something, and even when the focus of the episode is not on him catching something, Go still gets to catch something in most episodes, so he still gets to further his goal in almost every episode. Now, another way that two protagonists can work, which is closely related to the previous one, is if only one of the two protagonists has a clear goal or objective. But like I stated earlier, both Ash and Go have a clear goal, which again means that they both need to take the spotlight away from the other from time to time. Go's objective of catching them all is what causes most of the grievances I feel towards his character. It's okay for him to have a goal because previous traveling companions all had a goal. They all had something they were working towards. The problem with Go is that his goal is too invasive. It's given way too much focus because again he is supposed to be a protagonist, which illustrates why two protagonists can't work if they both have prominent goals. Now, Go's objective is to catch Pokemon. Like I mentioned before, previous traveling companions all got to catch Pokemon too, so why is it bad that Go catches Pokemon? The problem is not that Go gets to catch Pokemon, the problem is the frequency and amount of Go's captures. He just catches way too many Pokemon. Previous traveling companions caught Pokemon, yes, but only a couple. They always caught less or as many as Ash would catch in that series, so it never felt like Ash was catching less Pokemon than his friends, which would make him look like a lesser trainer. Go has caught so many Pokemon, in fact, that he currently owns more individual Pokemon species than what Ash currently owns. Ash only wins when it comes to Pokemon count if you include every Pokemon species that Ash has ever owned, meaning Pokemon he has released or Pokemon he hasn't, and you have to count every evolution and pre-evolution that Ash has ever owned. And who knows how long it will take for Go to surpass Ash completely in captures. And Go accomplished this in just 53 episodes, while Ash got to his current amount of Pokemon after over 1,000 episodes. I mean, Brock got the trouble with Ash for longer than any other traveling companion, and Brock has nowhere near as many Pokemon as Go. So for a traveling companion, Go has way too many Pokemon. Now I get that his goal is to catch them all, but I still think that he is catching way too many Pokemon. Now his goal of catching them all would be fine though if he was just catching Pokemon like Pidgey, Rattata, Weedle, and Metapod, but he isn't, which is another problem with Go's capturing spree. If he only caught small, unevolved, and common Pokemon like the ones I mentioned before, then I am sure that most of us would be okay with Go. The problem is that he only started with such Pokemon, and before long, he ended up catching a giant Golurk, he ended up catching Sobble, another starter Pokemon of the current generation, he caught Flygon, he caught Aerodactyl, he caught Eternatus, a legendary Pokemon which got sealed, yes, but then he caught Suicune, yet another legendary Pokemon, and he got to keep Suicune. It's bad enough that he catches so many Pokemon, but the fact that he gets to catch such amazing Pokemon on top of that is just too much, especially because most of these are Pokemon that we wanted Ash to catch. I still can't forgive that Go caught Sobble. Ash should have caught Sobble instead. Flygon and Aerodactyl are fantastic Pokemon, and it would have been so cool if Ash caught them instead. Also, Ash has never caught a legendary Pokemon, nor any other main character for that matter, but Go gets to catch two, and he gets to keep one of them. This is all just too much, and it feels like Go is stealing Ash's protagonist status little by little. With previous traveling companions, I never felt like they took a Pokemon that Ash deserved to get. It never felt like Ash got cheated out of a Pokemon that should have been his. With Go, it feels like he has stolen several Pokemon from Ash. Now, it's not like Ash has been completely neglected, of course, when it comes to capture, since he caught Dragonite, Gengar, and Riolu, but he could have caught Sobble, Flygon, and Aerodactyl as well. Am I too greedy for wanting this? Maybe, but Ash deserves to catch this many amazing Pokemon after being the protagonist of this series for over 1,000 episodes and for 23 years. Go could have been given less focus, which would have given Ash the chance to use his current team in battle more often. So even if Ash caught so many Pokemon, he could still have used them all. Now, previous traveling companions did get to catch/own amazing Pokemon too, so why can't Go get some cool Pokemon like they did? Well, the thing is that Go gets to catch all of these amazing Pokemon with little to no effort. For the most part, previous traveling companions had to earn their captures, either through battle or through bonding with the Pokemon, and in some cases, they had to do both. Go, on the other hand, simply throws a Pokeball at the Pokemon he wants, and most of the time, he catches it just like that. No battle or bonding required. Take Suicune for instance. It's a legendary Pokemon, and yet, Go caught it by throwing a Pokeball at it. He just threw a Pokeball at a legendary Pokemon and he caught it just like that. Sure, Suicune was very weak at the time, but still, Go caught a legendary Pokemon with no effort. And sure, he bonded with Suicune afterwards over the course of the episode, but it still feels like Go does not deserve Suicune. It still feels like he got a legendary Pokemon way too easily. This is another reason why I dislike Go. He catches Pokemon without actually doing much for the most part, and even when he does something, it feels hollow or undeserved. Take Flygon for instance. Sure, Go had to defeat it in battle before he got to catch it, but he caught Trapinch and Vibrava in the same episode, which makes Flygon feel less special. And he caught Trapinch and Vibrava by just throwing the Pokeball at them. Also, the battle against Flygon was short, and Flygon did not really leave an impression, which is another thing with Go's Pokemon. Since he catches them so fast and so easily, they don't get to actually leave much of an impression. They don't become characters and are instead just another Pokemon. And because Go catches so many Pokemon, most of them end up being neglected, so they never get the chance to become more than just another Pokemon. They don't get to become memorable characters. This is excluding Cinderace and Sobble, of course, and I guess you could also exclude a few others like Ghost Raichu. But still, for a main character, Ghost Pokemon are, for the most part, very forgettable. Like I have to constantly check Bulbapedia to remember some of the things he has caught. This is in stark contrast to every other traveling companion and to Ash himself. I remember every single Pokemon that Ash and his other friends have because they are all Pokemon that left an impression when they first appeared, and they continued to develop as the series went on. This is made worse by the fact that such awesome Pokemon like Flygon and Aerodactyl end up underused or not used at all, which is such a shame and a terrible waste. Ash would have definitely given them some good use. So now I want to quickly recap what makes Go bad for this series before I talk about how he could have been better. First up is the fact that Go is considered a protagonist and so he has way too much screen time and he often steals the spotlight from Ash as a result. He catches way too many Pokemon and several of them are way too amazing, which includes legendary Pokemon, and several of them are Pokemon that Ash should have caught instead. Also, Go was able to catch most of these easily without actually earning them or without actually deserving to catch them. And his Pokemon for the most part get little to no screen time, which makes catching them feel like a waste since they have no bearing on the anime other than being another Pokemon to add to the growing collection. Go also caught a legendary Pokemon and he did so without much effort, and he caught a legendary Pokemon before Ash did. Now Go would have been better if he started off slow. His first capture was fine. He caught Scorbunny after 2 episodes and Scorbunny wanted to go with Go, so it feels earned. The problem began in episode 6, which is where Go decided to catch them all. Since Go was a total rookie at this point, it would have been nice if Ash taught him how to catch Pokemon. Go could have then tried to catch something for the entire episode while Ash gives him some pointers. Go would have failed constantly, but in the end, he could have ended with 1 Pokemon caught. This would have been better as Go would have worked hard just to catch 1 Pokemon in 1 episode. And this Pokemon could have been something like, say, Caterpie. Instead, Go caught 12 Pokemon in episode 6, including a Pinsir and a Scyther, which is just too crazy. Now, from my previous scenario, Go could have gone on to catch a new Pokemon every couple of episodes, while still struggling and working hard for each catch. He could have then slowly improved by catching Pokemon more often and by catching better Pokemon each time. Like this, Go's captures would have felt more earned and deserved since he would have had to learn and improve over time. Each catch would have also been more meaningful this way, and it would not have felt like Go was just catching a bunch of Pokemon with little to no effort, and because he would have started slow with fewer catches, then each Pokemon could have received more screen time, which would have also allowed them to evolve, which takes me to my next point. Go could have also evolved some of his Pokemon instead of catching the entire evolution line in one go. Flygon is a good example of this. Instead of catching Flygon and Trapinch and Vibrava, Go could have just caught Trapinch, which would have later evolved. Go would have ended up with a Flygon anyways, but it would have felt much more deserved if he struggled to catch Trapinch and then he used Trapinch until it evolved twice. Imagine how great episode 36 would have been if Go caught only Trapinch instead, and then Flygon shows up but Go can't defeat it, so Ash steps up and he beats and catches Flygon. This would have been so amazing. If Go had evolved several of his Pokemon, then he would have the same amount of Pokemon species registered in his Pokedex, just with fewer actual captures. meaning that each capture could have been more impactful and more meaningful, and each individual Pokemon would have been much more memorable and meaningful. Go catching a legendary is something that definitely should have been saved for much later down the line. It's something that he should have done after he has endured a long journey with both a lot of failed captured attempts and a lot of successful captures. He could have fought the legendary with a party made up of 6 of his best Pokemon, handpicked from a considerable collection. 6 Pokemon that evolved and got stronger throughout the series. Go would catch the legendary after a hard-fought battle, and ideally, he would have caught it after Ash himself catches one, as Ash should have been the first main character to catch a legendary Pokemon. But this is how Go could have been better. It's fine if he catches a lot of Pokemon, but he should have started slow and he should have caught fewer Pokemon overall. And he should have started with smaller Pokemon, and said small Pokemon should have evolved, so that Go could still get the more amazing Pokemon as well, but in a better, more believable, and deserved way. If he was to catch a legendary Pokemon, then he should have done so much later in the series, and it should have been a tough ordeal. Characters should develop over time in a believable way. They should grow and improve with time and hard work. They should not go from 0 to 11 in a heartbeat, because then it does not feel like their success was earned or deserved because they did not struggle or labor to achieve it. Especially when this character is to share screen time with a character that has developed, grown, and worked hard like Ash. The contrast between them just makes Go feel even more unbelievable. Also, Ash should still be the focus of the anime, so Go should not be another protagonist. But he should still be a main character, one that travels and adventures with Ash, a character that supports and helps Ash, a character with his own goal and dreams, a character that grows, develops, and succeeds over time, but all of this should be without compromising Ash's role as the protagonist of this anime. But that's it. Just like with my episode 53 review, this video ended up being way longer than I anticipated because there's just so much to say about Go and his role in this series. But I feel that with this video I was able to say everything that I wanted to say. So I probably won't have to make another video like this unless Go does or catches something absolutely insane. In the end, I can't really say that I hate Go, but I definitely think that his character could have been better, and I do hate some of the things he has done. However, this has not made me dislike Pokemon Journeys as a whole. I am just disappointed with how some things turned out. Hopefully going forward, Ghost capturing can be toned down so that this series does not continue to spiral out of control. Go has not ruined Pokemon Journeys yet, but if he continues down this path, then he might just lead to the downfall of this series. But that's the video. As always, leave your own thoughts down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and would like to see more like it, then please consider subscribing to my channel. I love Pokemon and I love making videos on both the anime and the games. Also, please consider clicking the links on screen so that you can check out more videos like this right away. Thank you very much for watching, and let's meet again in the next video.